Hi, I'm Anya, also known as Meppity, and today is part 1 of 2 of looking through my Calarts Sketchbooks. So a lot of you have been requesting that I go through these books in more detail, discussing my techniques and my idea originations and so forth. So I thought, yeah, why not? The only thing is that I didn't get these sketchbooks returned for about 8 months, and the only reason that I have them now is because, well, I'm currently sitting in my Calarts dorm. So yes, today I will be going through the yellow one, which is in my head mostly about like my home, so things relating to the countryside and my surroundings, because the pink one is more about like holidays and less typical stuff in my surroundings. Without further ado, let's get going. So this is actually one of the last pages that I did in this sketchbook. I'm sure a lot of you feel very scared to do the very first page. So I did this actually like in December, right towards the end. This technique I used at the back isn't anything fancy. It's literally just because my crayola marker was running out. Just some basic hands. Then this is one of my favorite drawings. I actually did this back in August, and it was the only drawing I did in August in this book, and it is of a very important place to me, and I do like the style. I used ink and fine liner. Then going from that, I decided to do a couple explorations and designs of similar styled houses. So it's Jacobean / Tudor half timber frame buildings. And here's some geese, just done in colored pencil. It's really faded though now. More geese. I always love doing these things. It's just really fun to like see the origination of a structure and then put what we see in normal life on top. This is not a great page. This page, I did it quite early on, but oh my gosh, I hated it. I couldn't bring myself to finish it. It was gross. But in the end, rather than covering it up, I thought, you know what, let's leave it because I like the idea. Then this is of an area local to me, just the people you get in the cafe. I messed up the wheel and her feet, so I had to redo that. More. Then this page, I really don't know what's going on, to be honest. I just had a tube of paint, but because I didn't have a brush, I just went straight in, hence the message here. And then just some people playing brass instruments because, hey, I play the trumpet, this stuff's fun. Okay, so this page is another one of my favorites. This is one of the few occasions with this red piece of paper that I actually covered up something. If you go back to the previous page, you can see this weird mysterious patch, and it's because I messed something up and got paint all over my book, so that's why it's covered. I actually did this drawing once I'd already stuck the paper in, so it wasn't like some extra thing. And the same as with this, I stuck in the brown paper beforehand, and these are about maybe 5 to 10 seconds each initially, these drawings. I watched a 1 million dance video. I think they're a YouTube channel from Korea. Don't quote me on that, I haven't watched them since December. But what I would do is I would just really roughly block in the shapes, and that was whilst the music video was playing at 0.25 speed. Then occasionally I would pause it if I was starting to lose track. But all the details like the white and colouring in the legs was done afterwards. And these are some blind contours of my friends. I found this really fun. We were in the boarding house and I decided to draw them without looking at the page, and my gosh, it turned out pretty weird, but pretty cool. Then some hairs. I used mostly photo reference from my garden because these guys move around pretty fast, but ones where they're lying down like this, they were done in person. And then these are 2 people from my school. They don't know that I've done this. I literally got these pictures off the staff directory, which is mildly creepy, so I'll move on. Then this page, I did this red figure in my life drawing class. She is the model that I had every single week. but something was missing, so towards the very end I went on to Croquis Cafe and then I used some other models in crayon to finish up the page. Then here is just something I did in a lunch break at school. There were just some people standing around. I always mess things up, but hey, it's okay. That's why Post-it notes are a thing. This is another page I really liked. I love gouache. This is what I used here, and I used a square-headed brush, so that's how I was able to get the much blockier shapes. And I started with this pen drawing, although I did go into pencil first with this one, which isn't common for me. Then this was also from a YouTube video of someone playing football, or soccer as you Americans call it. Then I realized that you can't really tell what's happening, so I added a football onto the end and just used some packaging from something that was on my table to help it stick out. And this is some of my friends and my sister's friends. We were hanging out in the woods by the fire pit. I made a mistake over here. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, that's right, just her legs were, she was kind of floating, and she is still kind of floating, but never mind. Then some more naked people, lol. This is done on with Croquis Cafe. Oh, by the way, I believe Croquis Cafe got shut down or something on YouTube, so they've moved to Vimeo if you guys ever want to find that resource. Then here it is. Here's one of the most popular pages of some farmer folk. I don't remember how I came up with these ideas. I think I just kind of went for it roughly in pencil, just like some generic shapes. Then I went straight into fine liner and put copics over the top, or copics. And this is of a sheep I saw in the field. I don't know, it looked sassy. And then I just added some more sheep designs. These ones are awful. I tried to make realistic lambs and it worked out so poorly. I swear I can do better than this. It initially started though with this guy, because on the other side I really think he looks like a sheep. So yeah, I actually made him a sheep. And then all these others are a style that I quite like, and I kind of want to try an animation with this kind of sheep. Then here is my kitchen with some drawingception. Nothing much to say about this, to be honest. Perspective's really fun, but I do tend to include like some very rough pencil lines beforehand just to make sure it's clean. Then this is hockey. These are, oh, let me see. Yeah, so I couldn't draw people actually playing hockey because this was whilst we were getting set up for the day, and my teacher wouldn't let me sit out for a while at first, so I just could draw people standing. But then luckily a few days later she did let me draw whilst people were training. So here's some people in action. I absolutely love hockey and I do kind of miss it, but also I'm not very sporty, so it doesn't matter too much. Here is another page where I did mess up. This one and here I did a pose which just turned out awfully, which is what happens when you go into pen sometimes. So I did stick another piece of paper and try again. Then I added this Post-it note just for some colour. I didn't make any mistakes, I just felt like it, and so here's a mysterious creature. And then here is a redraw of something I did in one of my old sketchbooks. You can check that out in one of my past videos. Not gonna lie, I can't remember which video that was. But yeah, I just did the same drawing with the same colours, but I cleaned it up a little and I'm very happy with it. Only thing is that for the roof, I didn't have a crayola marker that was a suitable colour, so I used Copics and it soaked through. Then these are just some people in my boarding house. And then this page is basically defines my life at home, full of sheep because they are my neighbours, and yeah, you get them on the road sometimes when they're being transported. That's always fun. I miss this kind of thing, not gonna lie. Then some horses. I am deathly allergic to horses, so I used photo reference because I did not want to die trying to get this image done. This design is based off a ring that I own, although unfortunately I couldn't find it in time to bring with me to the US. Anyway, my mum bought it in an airport like 20 years ago, and it's one of my absolute favorites. I would really love to make an animation based on this character. This is what it actually looks like. Then this is based off a photo of my sister and I. This is just someone random. And I was listening to the audiobook of 1984 by George Orwell, so I just drew some eyes. I don't know what's happening here. Then I went outside and did some studies of my local area. These are the church that I can see from my school window. And then this is just me and some of the outfits I had recently bought at the time. I wear these shoes everywhere, and I've brought all these outfits with me, except for the puffy jacket because it's not cold enough in the US, well, in California specifically, and I didn't bring this either because I don't think I'll be going out too much. Then here is a page for my peacocks. I included a feather to be like, hey, yes, these are real creatures. I don't really know what else to say about this page other than it's really messy because of the copics that soaked through in the back, but it's fine. I miss these guys even though they're really noisy. And then this is a page based off of my dad's car. This was his first car he got when he was 16, and he's kept it ever since, and it's such a lovely thing. I have lots of childhood memories with my neighbors, and yeah, I'd love to own it someday if I ever learn to drive. Just some basic hands to fill the space. And then this is actually based off of something I did in my CESA sketchbook. You may have seen it if you watched that video. I really like the idea of showing how different people interact with a bench. Most of these designs are from that sketchbook. There's only a couple new ones. And then this is something based off the 2016 portfolio development workshop I did with John Mahoney. It's an online course that they provide, Calarts. It was pretty expensive, but it was really, really worth it in my opinion. I even cut this little guy out because I'm proud of it, and these designs are largely based off that 2016 workshop. I'll just, here we go. Some cool dudes. And then some more hedgehogs with my cat. I really miss this baby. He died when I was 14 or 15, unfortunately I can't remember, but back when you used to have him, we'd have the cat food out and the hedgehogs would be really noisy stealing his food at night. Then I decided to look at some English trees and just do a little bit of surface level research, and then use that research to design creatures based off of such trees. Then I did some more. And then finally I had them all interacting together. I imagine this short guy is like small man syndrome, and the red berry adds to that, you know, constantly being angry. Then this old dude just somehow gets everything he wants because he just sort of fumbles around, and everyone loves oak trees. Then this was just us going out to eat. This is actually just a completely random dude that I made up, but I needed to fill the space. And then this was Christmas Day with my whole family. It was really fun. We played some board games. This is actually me, although I really messed up my face. So this is based off a photo rather than being real life. And that's it. And this is me handing over the sketchbook. A little bit of sketchbookception. Oh, what's in here? And then some really weird anime pictures of my friends from when I went to Japan, apparently. I did not know those were in there. That's fun. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it gave you a little bit of insight into what I was doing with this sketchbook. If you're applying this year or next year or whenever you're watching this, best of luck, keep working hard, just be you and you'll do fine. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Why not also leave a comment down below, and why don't you follow me on Instagram at anya.arts and Meppity. Anya.arts is for more polished work, whilst Meppity is more for random sketches and doodles. I'll see you around. Bye!